What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? My name is Jacoby, the Habitual Pixel, and welcome to MOVIEVERSE podcast, where we review random movies of our choosing. And today, my co-hosts are the man with arguably the best beard in London, Big Nasty Productions. Hello, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
And we're also joined by Josh. Do you have a cool internet nickname you want me to call you by?
Not yet.
Okay, you're just Josh then.
I'm just plain old Josh.
Just Josh.
Fuck internet handles. You're pussies. Use your real name.
There you go. And today we are reviewing and talking about Robocop 2014, the reboot of the classic 1980. Josh, what year was that from?
87.
87 Robocop. And we're going to be doing a little bit of comparison back and forth. There you go. That one right there. We're going to be doing a little comparison of the new one and the original, and a review of the new one. And it's going to be fun because Robocop is goofy and
It's
fun.
Super groovy.
Fun franchise.
It is fun. All right, who wants to set up the story of the reboot here? Anybody. Don't all jump at once.
All right, I'll take it. Basically, an industrial Omnicorp. Basically needs to somehow convince the American people that they need robot policemen in America to replace the real ones. So basically they do a bunch of backhanded dealings to kill Alex Murphy, make him Robocop, and then basically try and prevent him from solving his own murder to make him a puppet. And then he solves his own murder and kills everyone. And that's the new Robocop.
Awesome. And it's pretty
Okay.
awesome.
I don't know what you saw, but that's not what I saw. Okay, and what I saw, what happened
Here we
is
go.
that Omnicorp is trying to stop this bill that's trying to get passed, that's trying to say that you're not allowed to have robots in America, as in these robots that are taking over in Tehran, where they are invading earlier. And then the whole thing with Alex Murphy, when he gets put into the Robocop outfit, it has nothing to do with the only reason that is even around is because that's what allows them to get the bill denied.
Because they can't have a complete.
Yeah, they don't kill him. It's the fucking gun dealer guy that kills him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that they basically said he organized it. It even says at the end that the guy Michael Keaton's wanted for the death of Alex Murphy, the murder of Alex Murphy.
Not that time, as in like when he's already RoboCop to unplug him. That's what it meant.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
I guess I thought it was all.
There we go.
Oh, revelation! What fucking movie was I watching?
No, I watched it twice. I just figured that
so
from
did
the
I.
beginning, because he's like, we need to put a man in the suit, and we need to find him, and then right after that, it's like basically he gets killed.
Well, it definitely.
I just figured like it was all part of.
It just happens to be very convenient.
It is
because
awfully
the
convenient.
guns come from their
It's
company
just
as well
convenient.
too. So.
Well, they did that scene a whole lot different than how he got fucked up in the original.
It's actually less brutal.
It's way less
just a
brutal.
car
I
bomb.
thought.
Yeah.
Whereas in the
interesting
original,
fact-
he gets bits and pieces of him blown
really?
off as he's screaming, and all the criminals
Oh,
are just
yeah.
laughing in front of him.
They
That
had
foreman sitting there
to,
going, "Ah!" Blow your fucking hand off.
When I saw that as a kid, it horrified me. That's one of the
Yeah.
most brutal
Oh, yeah.
maimings in movie history.
It was awesome.
It was awesome. Yeah, you know.
G13 and an R-rated movie. So.
Yeah, they PG-13 the fuck out of this new one.
Plus, interesting fact, they had to submit the murder scene, I think like 4 to 7 times to the movie rating board to get it from an X rating to an R rating.
Oh, so they toned that
Yeah.
down.
They toned it
Nice
down
tone.
quite a bit. Yeah.
Jeez, I wonder if there's an uncut version of that somewhere.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably like
The guy that distracts the
shoot his
lady when
balls
he
off.
tries to show his dick.
Mm-hmm.
In the uncut one, he shows it.
Oh,
There's
interesting.
a whole porno scene in there that they had to cut out.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. How the fuck would I know that?
I don't know. You sounded like you knew what you were talking
sounded
about.
like you were sure, and that's 90% of the battle. So.
Yeah. Quit saying stuff with confidence, or else I'll believe it. Yeah. Well, who wants to kick off the discussion of the new RoboCop? Things that you liked, things that you didn't.
I'll go ahead. Actually, to be perfectly honest, I thought that a lot of the overall conceptual tweaks were actually done better than the original film, especially when you take into context the whole secondary plot of, or not even secondary plot, sorry, but the secondary plot device that they use of the whole what's stronger between the human will and the mind, and the mechanical system that they've kind of used to run him when he
Mhm.
starts overpowering the system and is able to think for himself. That to me was more intriguing than in the original, where it's just bam, he's a robot. He for some reason gets these flashes of his family, which really play no significant role whatsoever. It does get a little much in the new film, and I mean, obviously it's cheesy. It's an action film. I feel like it's a step in the right direction as far as you go of action films
Mhm.
nowadays. I mean,
It's done better than
like you said, RoboCop was done in 1987. This one was
Yeah.
2013, right?
14.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I
did it
guess
come
it.
out this year? I thought it came out last year. Sorry.
Yeah,
Oh,
February this year.
oh
So,
shit.
well, I assume they shot it in 2013. I'll just go ahead.
Crazy
And
Yeah,
how
say
yeah.
quickly they release movies now. So
It is. Yeah, it was definitely shot in 2013. But I'll agree with you for what you said there.
yeah,
They
visually it was.
they've managed to well visually, and they managed to get
Mhm.
more emotion behind the character of RoboCop. Um,
Oh,
Quite a bit more, I thought, and the stuff with his family added a layer to that. It wasn't quite as okay, here's RoboCop. He's gonna fuck some people up. They kind of gave it a little more, grounding, I guess. I enjoyed that. I thought they could have skipped that and went, in the words of Kirk Lazarus, full retard with this if they wanted to, but they didn't. So props to that. Props to that.
and I gotta say, I did like even though I'm obviously not the biggest advocate of the CGI movement,
Hmm.
but I did like the scene where he was just the lungs, and,
Yeah,
like the head thing. I thought that actually did look kind of cool.
It looked cool,
that was
but
probably
it's-
the most disturbing shot of this film. I would think because it was yeah.
Although
'Cause
it does
there's
make it completely irrelevant, the point where they talk about what's left of him, and he's got his one leg, his
Mhm.
one arm.
oh, at the end he's got like
Why did they take all that stuff? I just don't understand.
No, I know.
he's
yeah,
got
that's-
scraps left at the
And
end.
then
man.
leave just his hand.
Yeah, he's got a
his hand was sitting there.
he's got a head, some
Somehow he needs
lungs.
that hand. Which
Yeah.
I was less like, the second he does anything robotic and like falls off his thing, that hand's gonna be gone. Like that hand's
Yeah.
coming off the second he does anything. Like that was kind of the one part I was like, it would have been cooler to me if he had to shoot off his human hand instead of his robot hand at
I would
the
agree
end.
with you there. Yeah,
I see
I
what
would have been
you're
like,
saying,
that's like, I don't know.
I
But
think
that
it was
the
a
main
weird
thing.
I
choice
gotta
to just
admit,
keep
though, I
in
thought
his
he was
hand.
going RoboCop 3. I thought he was going RoboCop 3 at that point, shooting it off and then like jamming the machine gun onto his arm.
That would have been
Oh yeah, that
cool
would
too.
have.
I would have been okay with that, I think.
I was gonna say for a remake, this movie actually doesn't really do that many shoutouts to the original, other than
Not really,
like
no.
the brief like scenes at the beginning where it's like showing the original suit,
There's a few lines like "Dead or alive, you're coming with me," and a little
which
bit of that.
he uses at the end.
Yeah.
The only time he says it.
Yeah,
Which
there's, like,
actually I did like how they used it at the end.
Oh yeah.
I liked
Because
it
they were,
too.
his system was shutting down or whatever, telling him that he's gonna die before he can do anything.
Oh yeah.
And then he says, "Dead or alive, you're coming with
it's
me."
a double meaning. Yeah.
Yeah, and then blast him with chest. Honestly, I do think that this was done more intelligently than the original.
I'll
Even
agree
though,
with you there.
like, I mean, obviously you're kind of battling wits with a Nimrodic. That's probably not a word, but
We can call it a word.
I
speaking
think
of
that's the
speaking of
bad
dumb
guy from the X-Men.
speaking of dum dums. But anyways, a somewhat stupid sort of plot and storyline. I mean, overall, RoboCop isn't exactly the most intelligent
No.
It's not
piece.
the most robust story in the world.
Even people at the time of '87 referred it to as a commercial action film. So if no
Well,
one was saying
exactly,
it's yeah.
And it was at the time for sure. It just happened to be a lot more hardcore than a lot of people were used to at the time, I think.
Yeah.
And
And with
as
the
far as that
original,
goes, I think it's good.
Hmm. I like the
Wait,
original. I like this one.
I love the original.
yeah,
I wouldn't say I love it. Yeah.
I do just because it's so fucking terribly bad.
Hmm. It does definitely fall into the category of bad movies that you enjoy just because whatever nostalgia or something. There's an attachment to it. Yeah. I don't know. I think this was an okay remake. It was. I think it comes in as just average, but definitely not bad. Definitely didn't ruin the lineage before it, in my opinion. But I don't know. Okay, you want to talk actors, or do you guys have any other general thoughts on this?
Well, I just want to say that, like, overall, I think that it's less laughable than the
Yes,
original
definitely.
RoboCop.
Yeah, they weren't playing for laughs, like except
Yeah.
for the relation. I'm gonna call him Freddy Cougar because I don't know his name. To
Jackie Earle
Rorschach
Haley.
from
Jackie Earle
Or-
Haley.
yeah, him and
I love that guy. He's a
RoboCop.
great
They had
actor.
a little banter back and forth, but other than that, there
Yeah.
wasn't really any comedy.
There's a little bit of banter, and Jay, what's his name? Jay Baruchel's,
Baruchel.
yeah, his bit role as the I guess he
Marketing
was like a
executive, I
marketing
think?
executive. There was
He
a
kind of
touch of
threw it
humor.
off for me.
Yeah, he was less. I don't know. I like that guy, but I don't.
That threw me off.
I don't really like him in roles like this too much, if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
I did like the line. He's like, he's solving his own murder. That is genius. Why didn't I think of that? I enjoyed that line. But yeah, overall, still cheesy, definitely, but far less cheese than the '87 version or any of its subsequent sequels or TV shows.
Counterparts.
Yes, all the various things that spun off of RoboCop. Josh, any thoughts overall? I know you're a fan of the original.
The original, yeah,
Since you
just,
have the steel book in front of you there.
Oh, it's not steel. It's the trilogy, but it's a box set anyway.
Oh.
Friggin' I don't know. Just the original. Like the first one's the best. After that, they're laughable, right? Like
I can't even
know?
remember the other ones, to be honest.
Second one's all about him trying to bust I think it's called Nuke or Atom or some drug
Nuke.
that like, they
Nuke.
make. Yeah,
Nuke,
Nuke.
yeah.
They make a robot that runs off it for some reason. I don't
There's
know
a
why.
kid that's a drug kingpin.
Yeah. That kid's an actually good actor, though. He's in Near Dark and a couple other movies.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, I have RoboCop 2 on Blu-ray. Guilty
Nice.
pleasure. Guilty
Yeah.
pleasure.
Yeah.
RoboCop 3.
I used to want to
know,
be that kid so badly.
the drug dealing kid.
Yeah.
More than you
Isn't that
wanted.
Weird? You know what I
What do
mean?
they
It's like-
call them? Skags or something?
It's like when I used to watch The Good Son. I remember wanting to be Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah.
I wanted to make
not
the
that.
crossbow from.
Like, I want to be like that guy.
You're like, what's his face from Goodfellas? You root for the bad guy.
Yeah.
There you go. So you wanted to be the kid drug pin more, or the drug kingpin more than you wanted to be RoboCop?
Oh, and okay. When I saw RoboCop, obviously I wanted to be RoboCop.
Mhm.
Then you see RoboCop 2, and I'm like, oh man, that kid's way cooler than RoboCop.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it.
That kid's got fucking money. He's got women. He's just set. He's like 12 years old. He's rocking this shit.
mhm. Is the
Like, that kid was boss.
yeah, for
Mind
sure.
you, it did turn out that kind of pay, but he technically killed RoboCop.
Mm-hmm. He got away with an awful lot, all things
Sure
considered.
enough.
Him and his creepy gang of child molesters or whatever they were.
I forget. I think they were called Skags or something like that.
Skags. That's the name of an enemy from Borderlands. That's super.
Sure
annoying.
enough.
Anywho, you want to dive into
Uh,
performances, perhaps direction
Sure.
first? Any suggestions?
Well, let's go into performances first, might as well.
All right, let's start with this fucking guy who's barely been in anything. His name is Joel Kinnaman, who plays Alex, aka RoboCop. What do you
He's a
guys think?
Swede.
He's a Swede. He's been in Safe House with Denzel Washington, The Killing, that weird TV. I think that's a TV show.
It's
right?
probably the Swedish version of the original version, wouldn't it be?
Hold on a second. I can.
I don't know.
tell
I
you.
don't watch it.
The Killing. Where is it?
I don't even think I've seen.
No, it looks like the American version.
Oh, okay. My bad. I
I don't-
apologize.
Yeah, I guess he's one of the main actors in that. But
Okay.
and a few other things here and there. Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Darkest Hour, Easy Money, Hard to Kill. Yeah, he hasn't been in a whole lot. But what'd you think about his performance as Alex, aka RoboCop?
It was pretty good. Not too
Not
much
that it's the
complaints.
most. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not. The role doesn't call for an
I would've wished
Oscar-winning
they, like,
performance.
Didn't try and make him so thuggish, but that was more, I think, of his
Thuggish?
what do you call his undercover role as like I guess firearms.
Oh,
buyer,
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what the hell he was.
Yeah, the fire.
But yeah, like that was basically the only thing I had problem with,
Fuck
just
this
especially
guy.
with his thing. He's like, even at the one part where he's like now you're the right color or whatever because his suit's all black. I was like, come on.
That was a,
that was bad.
that was a
that was-
lame
yeah.
line. That line was hella lame.
But yeah, other than that, he did a decent job, I guess.
I thought it was okay. Nothing special. Didn't quite stand out, but didn't really need to. That's the character of RoboCop.
True enough.
Hence the Robo in his fucking name for most of the movie. But he did a good job. I don't know. I don't know if I call it better than what's his face from the OG
Peter
one.
Wellers?
Peter Wellers, yeah, from the original.
So I would disagree with you guys because Peter Weller's was more had more of the option of just acting like a robot,
Yeah.
whereas
True. He spends more time as Alex in this movie.
well, and even when he's Robocop, because this one's more about his mind battling the system, and he's kind of letting his his old thoughts and mannerisms take control over what the programming is.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like he does a far better job than say a Peter Weller because he actually is required to do more acting than say Peter Weller would have been.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just basically point of view flashbacks.
Exactly. Yeah.
Peter
Yeah,
Weller.
I was gonna say it's more subtle because like I was watching it again and it's like when his brain or his soul or whatever you want to call it's like battling his robot in the original, his voice loses like the robotic tone.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like in the new one, it seems more explicit. Like they're actually showing it, and they're like talking about what was his dopamine levels or whatever.
Yeah,
Mhm.
dopamine
And like
levels.
that whole thing, and it's like, oh, he's reprogramming himself now. They actually like tell you how it's doing.
I like it when films do that, even in science fiction. Like, just give it a try. Try and explain that shit to me. I appreciate it. But
Don't be like Game of Thrones, where it's like 40 minutes of explanation and then some boobs at the end. Nothing happened.
fuck you, Game of Thrones is awesome. They
It's
can
good.
explain
I
all
watched
that.
it, I'm addicted to it, but it's just like literally, it'll be like 30 minutes of that people talking.
Mhm.
And then,
It's like
some big thing at the end, and then it ends.
well, lately it's been better, but this isn't a Game of Thrones podcast.
Oh yeah. What are we talking about?
Oh, my
Robocop.
God.
People.
Game of Thrones, Robocop. Anywho.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, Alex Murphy. It was okay. I think he handled the role efficiently.
Nope.
I think he definitely got overshadowed by
Oh,
all the other people in this.
Gary Oldman, Mike Keaton.
Yeah, let's move on to Mr. Oldman, who plays Dr. Danette Norton. Gary Oldman is is the top tier of actors, I would think, out there. Like
In my opinion.
he's one of the best ever. And this role, I don't know if this fits for him.
Yeah.
I don't know. He did a good job with it. Like he took average dialogue and kind of gave it a Gary Oldman I want a fucking Oscar spin to it,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was a bad role for him at all.
Yeah, I didn't think the role was bad. I just think it was below his pay grade. If that makes
there was
any sense.
nothing to like. You
do
he's a
remember that
doctor trailing a robot.
You know he did the Book of Eli, right?
Yes, I know he does bad movies sometimes.
And he
We're
was
talking about
crazy
under his
shit.
pay grade. Are you fucking kidding me?
No, I know.
I didn't say
guess-
I didn't say they didn't meet his pay grade.
Oh, okay.
I think he just
I
knew
feel it anyway. Sorry.
there's
go.
like an action film, It's like
Yeah.
there's not nothing like in Book of Eli. It's like you're playing a guy who's trying to like take the Bible and like take over the world to make it in
Oh,
your own.
that's horrible.
Eh. I prefer his performance in Book of Eli to this. This one, it seemed like he was just not like reading lines, but like he's a good actor already. So it's like even a half-assed performance is gonna look brilliant.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's the case here. Like he is so talented just by
disagree with you guys.
being on the set. It's a decent role for him, I think, and that's just because he's fucking Gary Oldman. And Book of Eli, jokes aside, I thought he was okay in that movie too.
I disagree.
Even
with you
though
guys. I think this is
overall,
far better.
Book of Eli was a pretty disappointing movie. I think this is a better movie than the Book of Eli too.
No, I'm talking
as
about
well.
performance. I still think this is a better performance,
Okay, all right.
even in his limited capacity. Because obviously it's a smaller role than he had in Book of Eli.
Oh yeah.
It is a smaller role. He is like the main reason for Alex Murphy's
Yeah, the
transformation.
main catalyst.
Yes, he's the one developing this technology, and he's the one who ends up, saving him.
Well, that's
in the
what I
end,
mean.
kinda,
Like
sorta.
him and Michael Keaton, like you could have had like some crazy like scenes
The
where
dream
like
team.
they could have had arguments, right?
Mhm.
Like just insane arguments about like you need to make this guy a robot. And it's like fuck that, I'm not doing it. Instead, it's like you got to make this fucking work, Gary Oldman. It's like all right, boss. It's like
That's a good
like,
point,
all right,
actually.
man, cool. It's like,
I
I'll
didn't
do
really
it,
think
fix
about
it,
that till right now, because there's a whole bunch of
They're
scenes.
trying to be more realistic.
There's
Yeah,
a whole
Say
bunch
no,
of
you get fired.
Yeah.
The
It's like, I'm
economy's
not losing
bad,
my
you know
fucking
this.
funded over this. Fuck it. But
Gary Oldman needs a fucking job, man. He is not going to talk shit. But no, that's a good point. They have a few scenes together, and you would think with that much talent in one room, there would be some fantastic back and forth. But it is, like Michael Keaton's the boss, and Gary Oldman's not, and that's
I feel that falls on Michael Keaton because I will give you that. I feel Michael Keaton had a poor performance in this.
I'd call his performance worse than
Yeah,
probably anyone's in the film. Just didn't seem like he was putting all his effort forward. We'll say.
Yeah, for sure. He was
Which is why he did the other movie in 2014 that Mr. Keaton did is Need for Speed.
Oh, awful.
I'm not watching that, so I don't.
Yeah, I'm not watching that.
None of us are watching that shit. Fuck that movie.
I don't even. Other than I know Jesse Pinkman's in it. That's about it.
If you're a fan of Movieverse and would like us to review Need for Speed, please go elsewhere.
Yeah.
Is that his name? Aaron Paul?
Aaron Paul, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Jesse
Sorry,
Pinkman.
I don't know his name. It's like Jesse Pinkman.
You'll miss the white and bitch and other quotes from him. Anywho, any other thoughts on Keaton's performance as I guess, I'd say he's the main antagonist of this.
I will give him credit for this. He did sort of change suits sort of midway through the movie. Like at the beginning, it's sort of like he's like a businessman trying to make money, and then at the end, he kind of made it more sinister. But
I heard someone say that was a big spoiler that he becomes the main bad guy at the end. I'm like, please, anyone who has watched a movie or two can see that foreshadowing. Michael Keaton's clearly a dick. Yeah, I don't know.
He's that 4-piece puzzle together?
Yes. He's a bad guy who's motivated by money. He doesn't give a fuck about Alex. Puzzle? Yeah, that's probably not a 4-piece. Anywho, any other thoughts on Keaton, or shall we talk about the beautiful?
Just poor. Poor is how I would describe it. Poor.
Pure.
Can't express that enough. Poor.
His performance was in poor taste. Anyways.
Yes, it was definitely subpar.
We could talk about Abby Cornish, the beautiful Abby Cornish, who plays Alex's wife in this film. What's her friggin' name? Clara Murphy.
Yeah, she did a good job of being a sad woman.
I think she, that was pretty much all the role called for. Is like, be sad.
She should have had it should have just been Sad Woman Murphy.
Yeah. Sad Woman Murphy. With a little bit of Harrison Ford. She just wants her family back, you know?
I just want my family back.
But she did a good job. I don't think too much was.
Like I said, she did a good job of being a sad woman.
Yeah, not too much was expected.
Sad, angry woman. Yeah. She was a little bitter. That Omnicorp.
Well, they kind of killed her husband, turned him into
grave raped her fucking husband.
Oh yeah, what they did to Alex Murphy is the equivalent of shooting him in the head, burying him, digging him back up, and like Frankensteining him back together.
No, they didn't. They didn't have him shot. He was already dying.
I'm saying
technically they saved him.
Yes, they saved him.
In the original, yes, even then they didn't set him up to die. It's a happy coincidence that Boddicker works for the head of OCP.
In this film, it's a little bit more than a happy coincidence, because car bombs don't just go off in American City, usually.
Well, the one thing in this that's even better, that's better than the original, is that it's Omnicorp. It's a division of OCP. Whereas in the original 3, I'm pretty sure it's OCP every time. And my question is, how the fuck would that place still be open?
I don't know.
Good question.
One point in the second one, I think in the second or third one, basically they take over the police force. They're private security.
The first one.
Yeah, I think that was the first one. Yeah.
Because
that's what it's all about. The police force is about to go on strike from the union because it's so dangerous or whatever. They just keep losing cops.
That and they're not paid enough. Essentially, they don't have enough money.
Yeah, so they go on strike, and then the OCP guys end up buying it up, or the contract goes through. I don't know, some bullshit.
Something like that. But that's what I think one of the weak points of this one. In the first one, it's very simplified. Basically, big business is bad, right? And like all that. In this one, you have like crooked cops, like somewhat crooked scientists, like.
So that's why I kind of preferred this one better. It was more.
Everyone's a little bit crooked.
There was more depth to this one.
I think you could have removed one of the subtext, and then it would have been a lot better. Because to me, it was just trying to cram too much.
Don't get me wrong. We're talking about the depth in the kiddie pool, but
that's a good way of putting it.
There was more fucking depth to this one.
Yeah.
It's about as much depth as a bowl of Jello, but it's still there a little bit.
Yeah.
Isn't Omnicorp like the best name for an evil future organization ever?
Of course.
It's like that. It's up there with Acme Labs, in my opinion.
It must be trademarked. Like,
it's got to be somebody.
Somehow a movie studio must have that trademark. No one else can use the term Omnicorp.
Omnicorp.
So that's a fantastic name. Kind of like Skynet.
Or Acme Labs from Looney Tunes. It's a great name. All right, who else we got for our actors? We could talk about Mr. Jackie Earl Haley. Is that how you pronounce his name? Yeah. Who plays Rick
He's a little
Maddox.
antagonist.
Yeah,
Just call
he's
him
a,
antagonist number one. We don't even know his name.
he's a
I'm pretty
minor
sure the only
antagonist.
time he's referenced is the little pipsqueak or little asshole in the exoskeleton.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Sure.
He's a minor antagonist of this. You know, he works for, I think he's like a soldier of Omnicorp or something.
He seems to run their like little robot divisions where he sends his robots in to do stuff.
Yeah, he's the guy leading the, not leading, because
Almost military of them.
Yeah, he's patrolling the,
militia, if you
whatever
will.
country they're in the beginning during that scene.
Iran.
Iran, yes.
Oh,
Which I thought that scene was awesome. But anyways. He's good. He's not quite as memorable as some of his other villainous roles, but that's all right. He talks some shit. That's like pretty much the only back and forth between, like, comedic back and forth in the movie was between him and Robocop during their few scenes. But otherwise, he just played, an average dick.
Yeah, he did okay. I mean, obviously, he's better in pretty much everything he's been in. I mean, he was the only good point of Watchmen, was Rorschach.
Easily the best in Watchmen.
In Little Children, he's absolutely fantastic.
Mm-hmm. That movie's very
do you like the
underrated.
new Nightmare on Elm Street? Because I couldn't stand it. So
I couldn't stand it, but I'll give him credit that I don't feel it's his fault. I feel it was terrible.
he
Terrible
definitely,
writing.
yeah.
Mhm.
He did a good job of portraying it, but they fucked with the storyline too much,
Yeah.
and I casted a bunch of like adults for play teenagers.
Yeah, I hate it when they do that. Okay, who else can we talk about? Michael K. Williams, I believe he plays... Yes, Michael K. Williams from The Road and Gone Baby Gone, and 12 Years a Slave, of course, who plays, I guess, Alex's buddy, his cop buddy, before he gets all mangled. Is that him?
Oh, his partner,
Yeah, his partner, Jack Lewis.
Oh yeah.
who originally in the original is a woman.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, true enough, yeah. And is white.
Yep.
Yes.
And they just
Sure.
made it a black man, so everyone's happy.
See, now, if he was in that warehouse, he wouldn't have got distracted by the dude's dick.
That's true. He would have just got shit done.
If they had just swapped characters with the 87 version, Alex Murphy's still good to go.
Mm-hmm. He's still got his, humanity. Just shoot that motherfucker. I like him, though.
That was not at all a sexist.
Which is
No,
weird too, because they
Although
kept
it
the
kinda was, I
police
guess it
chief
kinda
black,
was.
but they changed him to a woman, so that's weird.
Yeah, they kind of just swapped that shit up.
Actually, yeah, they did swap genders and races of a bunch of
I mean, I'll
different
tell you
people in
what.
this
I'll tell you
movie.
this much though. It doesn't bother me. It didn't bother me as much in this as it does in something like a superhero film where it's an established character that's been there
Oh,
for
yeah.
years. Just because it's in a movie doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, that kind of shit doesn't bug me too much. I mean, put whoever you want in. Put an Asian guy playing Jesus. I don't give a fuck. As long as it's, he's good for the role.
Mind you, if you did something like made a remake of Psycho and had a
Yeah, I think there's certain characters with lineage that should be respected. And I
if you
guess-
did like Psycho and you had
and I guess
some
it's
sort of Portuguese woman as Norman Bates, I'd be a little bit
just a
pissed off.
sassy Portuguese lady in
Yeah.
the remake of Psycho. I'd watch that. I'd
It's a
still
happy
watch that.
balance. You
Or
don't
no, it
take
should
like
be Spanish. Normina Betalos.
Yeah.
Her name.
she's just a disgruntled housekeeper at the
Yeah.
Bates Motel.
It's like, did you kill this woman? No. No, I don't
Don't
kill
think
them.
the other lady from that.
I'd watch
Yeah,
that movie
yeah.
too. But yeah, I don't care if they swap roles like that. It doesn't
No,
bother me
no.
too much. I like this Michael K. Williams guy though. I think he's a damn fine actor. I've enjoyed him in
Was he the guy
the last
Didn't have
few
the thumb
movies.
in the road.
Yes.
That's why. I
Yeah,
recognize
yeah. He was the
the guy at the end.
yeah.
You
Or
guys-
no,
Shut
actually,
the
I think
fuck up in
he-
Brooklyn's finest.
He was, yeah, I forgot about that. I think he was in The Road. He was the guy who stole their cart in the one part, and then he steals it back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just remember he didn't have a thumb. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
he had like one of his thumbs cut off.
Oh,
Probably because for stealing.
my camera is.
Well, no, that's how you get out of handcuffs in the road. Gotta cut your thumb off.
Come
well,
on,
break-
camera.
Break the bones in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
That would just be a really, really good fucking precise weirdo cutting your thumb off.
Anyways, we're way far off topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How to cut off a thumb on fucking movie fuckery podcast.
Oh, it's not movie fuckery anymore.
Or whatever, MOVIEVERSE or...
Yeah, movie. Alright, we'll be right back. My camera's fucked up.
Okay.
Alright, guys, we are back. Sorry about that. Technical issues. Anywho, we were rambling relentlessly about, you know, the road and chopping off fingers and stuff. Anywho, let's talk about the last couple characters. Sam Jackson, anybody? Sam Jackson?
I thought he did a really good job. You can take it, Cody, though. That's basically all I gotta say.
How do you feel about
Sam
Sam Jackson?
Sam Jackson did his typical Sam Jackson job by coming in.
Where he played
taking
Sam
some
Jackson?
money to, played Sam Jackson, got to yell out some motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Well, at least one motherfucker at the end.
That was in his
It wasn't
contract. It was
terrible,
like,
but
show,
I mean,
show up for one day, say motherfucker, get paid.
it was unnecessary to even have him there. But I mean,
I
in
will
the
agree with
original,
that.
They do have the newscasters.
That's what they were going
Yeah.
for, is
Yeah.
recreating the newscasters. And he played a better newscaster than the original guys.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's why they, like, because he played a brilliant, like, Fox News, like, Bill O'Reilly or whatever.
He did
That's-
remind me
yeah.
of Bill O'Reilly. Yeah.
Because, like, that's basically what those people do, get mad and swear at people.
Yeah. He's just
Cut
like,
people off. And,
so you're saying you eat babies, right?
yeah.
Well, you never went on record saying you didn't eat babies, so you must eat babies. Shit like that. But yeah, you can tell he showed up for one day, filmed all his scenes in one go because they're all on one set. But still, that's what Sam Jackson does best, right? Shows up, gets paid, says motherfucker, and leaves.
Yeah.
And I don't hate him for doing it. He's made a career.
Now let's move on. Fuck Sam Jackson.
He's the only
Let's
one
move
who can do it. So.
Yeah,
on.
he's
in
only-
everything. He's in
Okay.
everything. We'll talk about him in something else. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Well, tune into the next Marvel movie
Yeah,
review where
Nick
we
Fury.
say some shit about Nick Fury. Yeah, anyways, he's only in like 10-20 minutes of this movie anyways, so we can move along. Is there
Alright,
anybody else in this cast list you want to talk about? We covered
Just Jay Baruchel, because he kind of, I thought,
Yeah, we covered him a little
was
bit,
kind
but
of
yeah.
weak.
I like
But,
Jay in
yeah.
a lot of things, but in this one I could have took it or leave it. Like, it didn't really matter to me.
But yeah, either way, we can move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, that covers the main actors. Anyways, there's a few, not a few, a bunch of bit roles. His son, a few of the other cops. Anywho, we can move on to direction if you'd like.
Sure.
This film is directed by a man named I'm sorry if I mispronounce this, but Jose Padilla, something like that. It seems like he's a Brazilian director, and this is his first foray into American Hollywood kind of films. I think, from the looks of it anyways. He directed a movie called Elite Squad in 2007,
Never seen it.
which was it's about like a uprising in Rio de Janeiro.
Okay.
Who else? What else has he done? Rio, I Love You. He clearly
A
has
sequel to Elite Squad
yes.
and documentaries.
He's done a couple documentaries too, and he produced all of his own shit. Anyways,
Okay.
I thought this was a very good, first step into Hollywood for, first time. I don't know if it's his first time working on this like scale or with, working within the Hollywood system, but he did a decent job at it.
I thought he did a good job of a lot of the fluidity for the action scenes, especially with the shoot 'em up kind of scenes in RoboCop's training sequence.
Yeah, I did like that, even though it was just like a video game, but that's what it was supposed to be. I love the way he kept how RoboCop turns and shoots, like posing an action figure, I called it earlier. Like he's just, bam, shoots a guy, and then like a slow turn over here and shoots another guy, like dead on. I like how they kept that and didn't go all like Equilibrium style crazy gunfights and stuff.
They did speed him up though a bit. Like,
little
it
bit.
wasn't- The first
Over-
one, he basically he's a turret. He just stands in one spot and shoots people. This one, he's like,
I'll say
has
this: I
some
like his
fluidity.
motorcycle a lot better in this one than his whip in the first one.
It's just
Doesn't he
police
just have a
car.
car?
It's just
Just
a
has
police car. I know.
He's got like a standard car, yeah.
I know that. I thought that was hilarious. He just drives a normal fucking Lincoln or whatever the old police cars are.
I remember that. I think it isn't in the second one when he's driving up to the lot where the kids' hangout is. He drives up, or is it even in the first one? He's driving up, and all of a sudden they just blow it up with a rocket launcher.
Oh yeah, I
Oh,
remember. I think I
yeah.
remember that. It might be the second one. I can't remember though.
I can't remember if that was the first.
But yeah, his motorcycle's way cooler in this one, and
Yeah.
he even does a few shootouts on the motorcycle, which was pretty cool. But
True.
yeah,
Goes by a bunch of claymores.
otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, not a whole lot that sticks out visually. I think he handled CGI rather well. It didn't look too bad. It didn't look like it kind of stood out in the scenes that they were superimposed, you know?
Those walkers he did a good job on the walkers.
Those walkers looked like very, very similar to the original ones, but yet with a, some modern sheen on them. I like the way they did those. Those were cool.
I actually also like the way that they did him when he was damaged, his damaged suit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that's the one thing. I thought the costuming and set design was actually done really well. Especially considering, like you said, Josh, earlier, that it wasn't even shot in Detroit.
No, it was shot all over the place with a lot of stuff done on our very own Kanata. I think his suit overall is a lot sharper than the original. Obviously,
there's more detail.
Obviously, the 20 years it's been, 30 years actually, it's been since the original. Over 30 years, holy shit.
Well, even at the end.
No, not quite over 30 years. But yeah, it looks really sharp.
It's been 27 years since
27, there you go.
Jesus
Math.
Christ.
Math. There's a reason I'm fucking an art kid. Anyways, his suit looks a lot sharper than the original. Obviously, like I said, been a long time. It's a hella old looking movie, but
it's 28 years now.
Well, the first costume basically does turn him into an action figure because he only has joints on his shoulders and his legs and his elbows.
He moves more
stiffer. This one,
stiffer.
it's actually like his neck has...
Well, he says we got to make him stealth, and then he says we got to make him black, which is kind of weird.
Because those aren't the same thing. It's like, let's make him stealthy. Paint him black. He'll blend right in the shadows.
I wouldn't have minded that until his partner says, now at least you're the right color. I'm like, what?
That was a stupid racial remark that had no business being in a film like this.
Not to mention he's somehow in a police station that's full of white guys still in Detroit. And he's making remarks like that. He must be the most popular guy there.
Yeah, no kidding. No fucking kidding. Yeah, I don't know what else you want to talk about this guy's style, but he did a decent job.
I wish he would have done in the first ones, Robocop had like a spike thing that came out of his wrist. And
he does kill somebody with it. The thing he uses to hack TVs or whatever.
I'm not saying get a spike, but it would have been cool if I don't know.
Like R2-D2, he basically...
His anal probe.
It's one sharp looking anal probe. Not
so Mafia ice pick.
Yeah, there you go.
Or like X-23 or something.
Mm-hmm.
Never did make sense how you could transfer data through a spike, but I don't know. You could have done a scene where like he had a USB stick that came out the back of his wrist or something. I don't know.
His finger just turns into a USB stick.
Yeah, like we're gonna upload all the data. It's like okay, plugs his fist in. That would have been cooler. Like I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
Didn't happen. We'll never know.
Here or there.
Yeah.
We'll just leave that one up in the air.
Sure. But overall, I think this Jose guy came in, at a pretty good for his first step into Hollywood. Not bad, not great, but I look forward to his next action film.
I'd say he definitely did pretty good, or did good, especially considering if it was his first American film.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing I gotta say is that he didn't do that great of a job on the other side of the action scenes. And I mean, obviously his direction as far as character goes, he can only do so much as far as actor performances. But some of it was pretty weak. So, I mean,
yeah, there wasn't a lot of substance.
I guess I'd say he's a good, B-grade director, I would say.
Yeah, there you go. He's, he made a better movie than Spider-Man 2. Just saying.
I would agree.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Sorry.
I would actually agree with that.
Mm-hmm. I would agree, too. Yeah, but...
So actually, yeah, good for him. Kudos, sir.
Yeah, you made a better film than The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Your piece of poop is much shinier than that piece of poop. Not that this movie's a piece of poop. I still kind of like it. Yeah, any other fucking thoughts, comments, topics you want to discuss about RoboCop? Either the new or the old?
I thought it was kind of weird that, like, literally within 2 minutes of Clara Murphy's character being introduced, she's, like, getting naked.
Yeah, that doesn't...
That was kind of funny.
Why do you think that's weird?
Oh, just kind of, it's like, we need to get boobies in this picture kind of thing. It's like, you really didn't need that.
Well, that's...
Could have been like, oh, we're going to sit down and watch TV with the kids because you're a cop and,
And a father.
Yeah.
That kid's young. He's asleep at like 9 o'clock.
Yeah, no, I would agree with you. I don't think it's weird, though. I just think that's movies.
Maybe unnecessary would be the best.
It's definitely unnecessary, but that's just movies, right? It doesn't doesn't make a good argument for the
stereotypical, I guess, is
the male gaze, if you will.
Oh yeah.
We got some.
I'll say this. This definitely felt more like the old school action films than any other remakes of the old school action films, like a Total Recall, which I was a fan of the Total Recall remake. But
sorry, you were a fan?
I was a fan, but I didn't find the feel was the same as this. I find this feels a lot more like the older style of action films.
I will agree with you there. This captured the not perfectly, not precisely, but it did capture the
essence.
It did capture the essence of 80s over the top action films pretty well.
Expendables does that kind of good, but the last
Don't you dare say that again.
My problem with the
an 80s action film.
It is.
Expendables is like a fucking parody of an 80s action film that takes itself seriously somehow.
Yeah, I'll agree with both of you, actually.
But I think the problem with that is, like, you have... The only reason it's like that is Sylvester Stallone has...
The problem with the Expendables is the action is shot badly.
Everything else is done terribly as well.
Well, I could get over that if, like, the action was done, Winter Soldier, Raid style, like, really gritty, hardcore action. I could get down with that, but... Once you combine a bunch of friggin' idiots who can't act and just got lucky their whole career with a few good guys. There's a few good guys in Expendables 2 and 3, but when you combine that with just average action of just a lot of crap blowing up and stuff, it's just average to me. This one was above average, slightly. Robocop, slightly above average.
I would put this above both Expendables movies, that's for sure.
I enjoyed it more than both Expendable movies. Still haven't seen the third one, but
like I fully enjoy this movie. This is a movie that I fully enjoy. I think this is a great popcorn
film.
Entertaining than any of those pieces of shit that have came out in the recent memory.
Yeah, I'll agree with you
what
there.
What about what's it called?
It got blasted. Like, don't get me wrong, who am I to judge, right? This movie got blasted by pretty much any critic that got their hands on it.
It's sitting at a 6.5 right now on IMDb, which is not very good.
So.
But
who am I to judge? But in my opinion,
well, you're someone to judge. That's why we're on the internet judging them.
Yeah. The internet's for faceless accusations.
Only we show our faces. Come at me.
Oh, really? I thought I was just the asshole that just blatantly tells people my opinion in hopes that they swallow it.
Well, yeah, either way. However you want to look at it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Thank you for watching our videos. Like and subscribe. Go to all of our channels and hear more asshole things from our mouths.
Shovel it down.
Yep. Anywho, closing thoughts on Robocop. Anyone want to start with their closing thoughts?
Yeah, like I said, in closing, I would say that it's actually more entertaining than the original. I'd say that it's maybe not as well written. It's not as dark.
No.
If you want to call the first one dark, but it definitely does have a darker tone than this one does. It's more about the corporate corruption rather than this one being pretty much entirely about police and government corruption. So there's a different tone, but to me, I think this one is a more entertaining film, more well done film, and I think it's definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it.
Josh, any closing thoughts?
The only thing that really bugged me about it is the fact that I think they missed a really big opportunity with actually filming in Detroit right now with a bankrupt city. Like, to me, that would have been, I don't know. Could have made it something special, I think. I don't know.
That's an interesting thought. I never...
Well, not to mention that would have pumped some money back into the city.
That's the other thing. And they could have probably used that as an advertising campaign.
It's got to be cheap.
They already have a fucking statue of Robocop in Detroit, so you could have even shot that at the end and been like, Robocop saved our city. It's like...
That would have been awesome. I don't know. It seems like it would be fairly cheap to film in Detroit, but...
It's a bankrupt city.
Yeah,
so
like... I guess they have no, tax deductions to even give a film crew for coming there. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
But message to Hollywood: keep filming shit in Canada so we can get jobs one day.
Gives us experience.
Any other thoughts from you two fine gentlemen?
That'd be all for me. I said my piece.
Yeah. overall, RoboCop is not, I love the original RoboCop. I saw it at the right age when I was a kid, that I'm just like, action and blowing people's dicks off, this is great. But it's not like near and dear to my heart as like say a Star Wars or something would be to my childhood. But I still think this is a very worthy remake of the original. I'd say it's better in a lot of ways, in most ways actually. But overall, it's still an average action movie. It's just a hair above the base junk action movie that you would get. You get hundreds of them, every year. But this stands a little bit above that. And I think it's a worthy remake, and I give it my blessing.
One thing I would say, though, is definitely, like you said, I would give it average. If you're going to rate it at all, what would you guys give it?
I think overall I'd give this movie a 7.5 for pure popcorn value. I think it's a fun movie. It's a good rental. Watch it with a buddy or a loved one if you like watching some action, some a decent performance by Gary Oldman and a few others. 7.5, perfect popcorn movie.
Josh?
7 for me. I would give it. It's basically just under the original for me. Because the original I'd give like a 7.5, maybe a bit higher. But yeah, watch both yourself and come up with your own decision. Don't listen to me.
Yeah, so you're the reverse of me.
On the internet.
You're the reverse of me. I would agree with Jake. I'm going to go with a 7.5 for the new one. I would give the original a 7.
Yeah.
There you go. That's a worthy. My camera froze again, but we're just gonna roll with it.
Sorry, you have a dashingly handsome picture, though.
Yeah, it's not
you have a mystery gun. Yeah.
It's not the usual.
Looking off to the side.
Yeah, it's not the usual dirt face of when it does freeze, where you're just like mid blink or yawn or something. Anyways, so that's a 7.5 from me and Cody, and a 7 from Josh. Overall, not a bad action flick. Anything else, guys?
There are a lot worse.
And a lot better, but a lot worse.
Yeah, a lot worse.
Most are worse, I would say. Some are better. Anywho, thank you for tuning in to our review of Robocop and our little comparison to the old one. This has been Movieverse. My name is the Habitual Pixel. I do gaming shit on YouTube. You can check that out in the link down below. This is Big Nasty Productions. Tell the world what you do.
I do original shorts and mostly just podcasts and reviews.
Okay, and this here is Josh, who is too cool for internet nicknames. What do you guys? What do you do?
Originals and podcasts as well, I guess. That's really all I have online. So.
All right,
links. You can check me out at Legion 986 if you want, but I'm going to get a better page up and running eventually.
Yes. All right, links to all of our channels, including Josh's better channel to come. So hit that like button, subscribe if you dig what we do, leave us a comment, and we'll see you guys next time. Dead or alive, you're coming with me.